Hey there, Python trainer Ruben Learner here. And today I want to talk to you about splat args and double splat kwargs, special kinds of parameters that we can put in our Python functions. And a lot of people are unclear on what they do, how they work, how they should use them, and what's the difference between them anyway. So before we can talk about that, we have to talk about two types of arguments in Python. We have positional arguments and we have keyword arguments. That is it. And I should remind you that arguments are the values that we pass when we invoke a function. And parameters are the variables in the function that get the arguments assigned to them. Many people mix up the whole arguments versus parameters thing. If you are one of them, that's okay. I totally get it. So basically, there are two types of arguments. So if I say def my func, and I say here like x and y, I'll say here return, I'll just do this, x equals that and y equals that. Great. So if I say my func of 10 and 20, what's going to happen here? Well, we get back x equals 10 and y equals 20. How did that happen? Because we have our parameters, x and y. We have our arguments. And these arguments are positional arguments. What does that mean? It means that based on their position in the call, the first argument 10 is assigned to the first parameter x, and the second parameter y, second parameter 20, second argument 20 is assigned to the second parameter y, and that works out just great. And this is the normal kind of argument to parameter assignment that we're used to. Most of the time we think about positional arguments. And so most parameters are just sort of deal with it in that way. That's the default. We don't think about it more than that. But what if I want to pass any number of arguments? Well, that's not going to fly, right? Because Python knows how many arguments I'm supposed to pass to a function. And so if I pass too many, I'll get an error, right? So if I say here def, well, watch this. If I just say here my func of 10, 20, 30, it's going to say, no, you can't do that. My func takes, look at the error message. Two positional arguments, but three were given. Yeah, that's true. So one option is I could just like accept a list, right? And a list then can be of any length. And if I'm willing to accept a list as an argument, then this problem goes away. But if I really insist on getting any number of arguments, then I'll need a parameter that can accept a variable number of arguments. And that is splat args. And by the way, yes, we call it splat. It's an asterisk, but traditionally it's called splat because it looks like a bug after you sort of squished it. And you can actually call the parameter, the variable, anything you want. You don't have to call it args. It's kind of traditional to call it args, and all the documentation will call it args, but you don't have to. Okay, what's next? So now I can say def my func of, and let's just say here x and splat args. Say here return, say x equals that, and args equals that. So now if I say my func of nothing, it's going to say no way, can't do that. My func is missing one required positional argument x, so we do actually need to pass at least one. So if I say my func of 10, well, it's going to say x equals 10, args equals, and look at this, it's a tuple. It's an empty tuple. Args, or whatever you call it, will always be a tuple, and will be a tuple containing all of the positional arguments, note positional arguments, that no other parameter got. Meaning it has to be at the end of the other parameters because it's going to sort of pick up the pieces, get everything that remains. If I say now my func of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, well, look at that. X equals 10 and args is this tuple of however many I want to pass, and it can be as long as you want it to be. It'll always be a tuple, always. Now, some people then say, well, what I can do is I can check the length of the tuple, and based on that, extract different variables from different indexes. No, don't do that. Don't do that. The whole purpose of splat args is to say, I don't know how many arguments I'm going to get, but I want to store them somewhere. I want to get them into my function. And then almost certainly what you want to do is iterate over that tuple and do the same thing to each value that you got from the user, from the caller. So the moment that you're saying args of 0, args of 1, args of 5, args of -1, whatever it's going to be, you're almost certainly doing something wrong. Don't do that. Just use a for loop on the tuple and do the same thing to each value. Okay, well that makes sense, but what else can I do? What's with double splat kwargs then? So we need to talk then about keyword arguments. And basically, if we call a function and pass one or more arguments in the form of name equals value with the equal sign, those are known as keyword arguments. And we basically, tell Python we dictate to Python which arguments should be assigned to which parameters. So let's take a look. I'm going to say here def, let's do my div, and I'll say here x and y. I'll say return, well, put it this way. First of all, I'm going to say your print of x equals and y equals. I'm going to say return x divided by y. You can see where this is going to get a little wild, right? This division is so wild and crazy. And then I can say my div of 10 and 5. So what's going to happen? Well, these are positional arguments. So we're going to say here, my parameters are x and y. My arguments are going to be 10 and 5, 10 and 5. Just like before, x is 10, y is 5, we get 2.0, all is good. But what if I say my div of x equals 10 and y equals 5? Now they're both keyword arguments. And so now what happens? Well, actually, parameters x and y, not much different arguments. And it's going to say, well, x goes to 10, y goes to 5. Done. We get the same result as before. But we can then play games with the order. I can say the parameters are x and y. What if I say y equals 10 and x equals 5? Now there's still keyword arguments, but now we're saying x is going to be 5, y is going to be 10. And I know this might not be obvious because it's really hard math, but 5 divided by 10 and 10 divided by 5 are not the same thing. Now, why would you want to do this? Because it can be more explicit, it can be more obvious. Also because in the case of some functions, and we're not going to talk about that here, certain parameters require that they be given values via keyword arguments. So sometimes you just have to do it. And also there are all sorts of things with defaults and whatever. So actually splat args and double splat kwargs have nothing to do with one another. Splat args always going to be a tuple. And well, wait a second, double splat kwargs, I didn't show that to you. I knew I was forgetting something. What if I say here something like this, def of my func, and I'll say here double splat kwargs. And so kwargs will be a dict whose keys are the kwarg names and values are kwarg values. Well, that's kind of obvious-ish, right? This is just another way to pass a dictionary. And now I can treat it like a dictionary. I can say here for key value in kwarg items and say print, say here, well, that key and value. So now I can say my func of, and we'll say here a equals 10 and b equals 20 and c equals 30. And look at that. We get a10, b20, c30, and the function can still return whatever it wants. So it will only work with keyword arguments. If I say now my func of 10, 20, 30, the function's going to give me an error saying, wait a second, it takes 0 positional arguments, you gave 3, what the heck? So why would I want to use keyword arguments? I often come up with 2 or 3 different reasons. Number one is your function is going to take in a ton of different arguments, and it's easier to organize things this way. Number two is that you want to sort of use the names and values. So like, let's say you're writing to a configuration file, the names can be the keys, the values can be the values, and you can put them into the file that way. Meaning you don't know what the names and values are going to be, but you know what you want to do with them when you finally get them. And then there's the whole issue of defaults. Like if I want to like pass some things that override defaults, but not others, keyword arguments are a good way to sort of skip over the ones that came before you because you can't just skip with positional arguments by definition. I should add, by the way, that you can have as many positional arguments and as many keyword arguments as you want, but all positional must come before all keyword. So double splat kwargs basically says, I am going to write a function that takes any number of keyword arguments. I don't know what the names are going to be. I don't know what the values are going to be, but I'm going to store them in this dictionary. Args, splat args, by contrast, says, I don't know how many positional arguments I'm going to get, but they're all going to be in this tuple. Can you have a function that takes both? Absolutely. Def my func of, let's say, x and splat args and double splat kwargs. So now I can say return of x equals and args equals and kwargs equals. And the reason that they can coexist is because they don't look at the other's thing. Args is not going to look at anything that's a keyword argument, and kwargs is not going to look at anything that's a positional argument. So if I say now my func of 10, 20, 30, 40, And then I say here A equals 10, A equals 100, B equals 200, C equals 300. So X is 10 because it's the first positional argument. Splat args gets all the rest of the positional arguments because that's the way it works. And then double splat kwargs gets all of these in the form of a dictionary, A 100, B 200, C 300. Now, there are also some little nuances and additional types of parameters we can define, but if you can understand positional, keyword, splat args, double splat, kwargs, you are doing great already. I hope this was helpful and interesting and useful. Let me know what else you want to learn. I really want to hear from you. I love hearing your comments. I'll be back soon with lots more about Python, pandas, and everything in between. Don't forget to subscribe. See you here soon.